Welcome back to the state capitol. It's been a very tumultuous week. Things are going pretty quickly. We would have House File 2083, which left the House and the Senate as 1.5-page bills that dealt with the shift and also with some contract language for teachers. It came out of conference committee report last night as a report, 14 pages long. It deals with increases and decreases in almost all of the accounts, special ed, milk, lunch programs, etc. And that can be found online if you want to look at the exact amounts. Also this week, Chair Garofalo put out his second omnibus bill, House File 2949, and in this, he included early graduation scholarship dollars. He included early graduation for military. There was a great discussion about what would happen to school districts' budgets if these students leave early and they still have to provide the same teachers aides, and all the other staff to take care of students, even though those students weren't there. They also had a bill that actually went to the floor as House File 329 yesterday and passed the floor, which prohibits public employees from doing any political activity. It was quite a spirited discussion on the House floor, and the question of whether taxpayers' dollars should be used for any type of lobbying or public disclosures of any kind should occur, and the question of whether just public school teachers or even private school teachers who also receive taxpayer dollars should be included. It did pass the floor, and it's also included in Chair Garofalo's bill. He also includes students may enroll in academic and career technical courses in an approved facility, and they would get credit for that. He reallocates general education revenue for all-day kindergarten and pre-kindergarten. Districts can levy for the purpose of leasing administrative space with the commissioner's permission. Then he also included pay differential for military staff that would go for military duty for the reserves or actual live military duty. It would be the difference between the district's salary and the amount paid to any substitute would be put in a special fund for that individual when they return. A good part of this bill is the fact that our fund balance transfer made it into this bill. So excluding food service and community education, it is in Chair Garofalo's bill, and hopefully we'll have a companion piece in the Senate bill. Early childhood scholarships for the 7-county metro area and outstate should be given out equally. There's also a Career and Technical Education Advisory Task Force developed. There's a report from the Commissioner on NCLB waiver and the savings that it may give to the state. Representative Davney had an amendment that said the Commissioner must submit information on rigorous course taking for 2012 and 2013, and that would be for AP, IB, and PSEO. And that amendment actually was adopted. Representative Mariani offered an amendment that dealt with the integration task force, and they had a lengthy discussion on that. However, it was not adopted, and Chair Garofalo said that he would give it a hearing sometime this week, or I guess maybe next week, even though technically they're done tomorrow. Senate File 2482, Chair Olson's bill matches 2949 in the House, except hers is much briefer. She has the early childhood graduation program, and she has identified reporting to students who are not reading at grade level or performing at grade level. The evaluation would be after kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, and then action would be taken as they went through third grade and were not able to read. She has proficiency aid in hers, and she reallocates general education revenue for all-day kindergarten and pre-kindergarten. And so their bills, once again, do not match, and I'm sure once they pass through the system that they will go to another conference committee. And since the last one came out much different, this one may come out much different too. On the floor this week in the House, they did House File 2621, and that says certain independent school districts are subject to mayoral control, which is just a very interesting bill. On the Senate floor, they passed House File 2083, as it did go to conference committee. They also passed Senate File 2183, prohibiting the department from enforcing unadopted rules, and we had spoken about that last week. I believe that the department is putting out notifications to school districts, and people are thinking that they have the power of rule where they have not been adopted by the legislature. And legislators feel very strongly that any rule that goes out has the power of law and must be approved by the legislature. Senate File 2088 changes by 1 month the notice that must be given to probationary teachers if they're going to be laid off. Right now it's June. It would go till July. The arguments against that were that teachers should be looking for a job as soon as possible, and it did, however, prevail on a vote to 47 to 15. Senator Nelson had Senate File 2213, principal evaluation, and this was needed to conform with the waiver for No Child Left Behind, and it passed the Senate floor 55 to 6. House File 2376, simplifying the approval process for food service equipment purchasing, also passed the Senate floor. And right now, conference committees are going on for House File 1870, which is the last in, first out bill. And they have had numerous conference committee meetings, and then they're canceled, and then they come back, and then they're canceled. They met, the commissioner came, and she said she did not like this, and she does not like the PSEO bill either. So they're having the conference committee. I think they're going to have it today. It's been posted, then canceled, then posted, then canceled, and now it's posted again. So we'll see what happens to that bill. All in all, things seem to be going at a very fast pace, and a new burp in the road is the fact that Chair Olson's Education Committee, which is Finance and Policy, is going to meet every day next week at 3 o'clock to put together an omnibus policy bill for education, which would match Senator Garofalo's, even though there is pieces of it out there, but she's technically going to put it together in committee, which is as it should be.
I just wanted to comment on a couple things that are on people's mind. One is, of course, everybody's speculating about when the session's going to end. There's some people that believe it's going to end before Easter. I'm not one of those people. I think they'll go through. They're going fast, as Peg has mentioned. They're working hard, but they're not going to get done. So they'll be back after Easter. Easter's a long break. It's about a week long. And when they come back, they're going to lose their rhythm, and they're going to have to get back into it again. So I'm thinking maybe sometime during the third week of April, they're going to adjourn sine die, but my guess is as good as your guess on that. The other thing I'd say that I don't think people are aware of the revolution that has gone on here. If you look at a legislative manual from the year 2008, and you cross off the people that retired or were taken out in the last election, what you'll find is there certainly is no need for term limits, because of 67 senators that were here in 2008, 31 are gone. Add 10 for the number of senators who have already declared they're not going to run again, and you're up to 41 of 67. Then you take the pairings and the fact we're going to have some contested elections, and before we're done here, we're going to have close to a 70% turnover, I think, in the Senate in 4 years. In the House, it's not quite as dramatic, but it's still impressive. 53 people who were here in 2008 are not here anymore. That's out of 134. There's 17 that have so far announced they're not going to run again. So we're up to a 52% turnover since 2008. The election will bring about another, 15 or 20% turnover. So in both bodies, you're going to have a 60 to 70% turnover in that period of only 4 years. I think people don't understand what that's going to mean in terms of the loss of institutional memory, and in terms of having to tell your story all over again and explain it to a whole new crop of legislators.
I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.